It might not be the year of the rooster anymore, but I don't think Nintendo got that memo. Hello everyone, I'm Luxon, and that's right, Splatoon 2 version 3.2.0 just dropped, so it's patch review time. The first changes listed on the official patch notes are amiibo changes, which is, hey, look at that, we got Pearl and Marina amiibo that I'm too poor to afford. The game is now compatible with them, their gear has been fully patched in, all that stuff is good. If you register them as your supporter and fulfill certain requirements, you can change the on-screen appearance and sound effects for the Squid Beats 2 minigame. And yeah, that's cool, Pearl and Marina amiibo, everyone loves them. I'm way behind on my Splatoon amiibo, I actually never even got the Callie and Marie one, so now that Pearl and Marina are out, I'm actually behind by 7 amiibo, Callie, Marie, the Splatoon 2 3-pack, then Pearl and Marina, and I'm about to be behind by 10 once the Splatoon 2 Octo expansion ones come out. But we're mostly here for the multiplayer changes, which begin with some main weapon adjustments, and there are actually kind of a lot of them this time, which is nice. So, the Sploosh-o-matic, expanded radius of ink coverage for shots on impact when shooting downward, so aim down, paint more, and also a 10% buff to Rainmaker shield damage. So, general utility buff. It's not ridiculously good now, but it's slightly less bad, I guess. Splattershot Jr. and Custom Jr. now use a special tank themed after a baby bottle instead of the regular ink tank, with 10% increased ink capacity. I have no idea why they did this, since Jr. is already one of the most ink-efficient weapons in the game, but this now means that the Custom Jr. can throw 2 AUTOBOMBs at once with 0 subsaver. It's really stupid. Like, really, really stupid. And we'll get into some more wacky AUTOBOMB stuff too. So, this is what I mean by Year of the Rooster. AUTOBOMB is the chicken bomb, and good God did the AUTOBOMB get buffed this patch. Splash-o-matic now retains its already phenomenal accuracy when jump shooting, so you never have to worry about your spread increasing whenever you jump. That makes Splash a very, very good utility flanking weapon. You can get the drop on people a lot easier without having to worry about getting RNG screwed. That's actually really good. I might start using those weapons a lot more. Arrow Spray, expanded radius of ink coverage for shots on impact when shooting downward. Same buff the Sploosh got. No, it's not going to make Arrow Spray good. Stop pretending that it will ever be good. That's it. Luna Blaster, decreased shot variability when shooting immediately after jumping by roughly 20%. Now, the way blaster jump shot variability works is during the jump, your shots can go wacky, but at the peak of the jump, like the little point where you stop before you go back down, you have your normal accuracy back. So this just means that when you're in the air, like moving up or down, the shot variance is less, so Luna can hit stuff better. Again, kind of makes it a little easier for Tower, because Luna's variability used to be kind of bad, so if you tried to jump shoot someone on Tower, there was a good chance you wouldn't even indirect them, but that's pretty good. L3 nozzle noses, increased movement speed when shooting by roughly 11%, that just lets you strafe a bit better. It's playing to the weapon's existing strengths a little more. H3, changed the animation when all 3 shots fired with a single trigger hit their target and deal over 100% damage. That basically means that the animation for one-shotting someone's a little different, and it plays sort of a sound effect similar to a Charger Shot or a Blaster Direct, which is kind of cool. Squeezers, decrease time until firing by 6/60ths of a second, so 6 frames, after pressing and holding ZR. This means you'll swap from long-range mode to short-range rapid-fire mode a lot quicker. That actually screwed me up a couple times after the patch dropped. I wasn't mashing hard enough, and I accidentally launched into short-range mode, but this is actually really good, because if someone gets within your long-range range and within your short-range range, you can react to it and start fighting them a little bit faster, and that's actually really good. It's making Squeezer a little bit more viable as a short-range weapon, especially since it suffers from kind of mediocre accuracy at short range. Carbon Roller. Actually, all rollers got this buff. All rollers, not including rushes. Decreased ink consumption when inking the ground with the roller while moving at top speed by roughly 33%. That is almost useless, because who actually uses the roller rolling for long enough to get to maximum speed? They're really bad at buffing rollers is what I'm getting at. Rollers and chargers. Remember when they both used to be really good weapon classes in the first game, and now they're not in this game? They haven't figured out how to make them much better yet. Oh well. All versions of E-Leader increase damage to the Rainmaker barrier by a fully charged shot by 15%. Another kind of useless buff when chargers could actually stand to get a bigger one. Same old story, same old song and dance with that one. Hydra Splatling increased damage by a fully charged shot from 35 to 40, and all other shots from 28 to 32. That just means that you can kill a little bit better on someone who's already damaged by standing in ink. It's not going to affect the amount of shots to kill normally, but it's a buff. I don't know if Hydra... Well, the thing is, Hydra kind of could use that, because Ballpoint kind of is just Hydra but better right now. It's more accurate, and it can also shoot at short range, so... You know, Hydra could use that. So it's better at picking off people who are already damaged, while Ballpoint is better at just shooting them and hitting them with the gun. Undercover Brella got a stupidly good buff. After killing someone or getting an assist, the umbrella canopy will reappear if it had been destroyed, or be restored to maximum durability if it was still functional. That means that for every kill and every assist you get, the HP of your shield gets increased, or rather, it gets restored to maximum. That is insane. It's now one of the best defensive weapons in the game after this. I might see it being played more than Tenta now, and possibly even approaching the levels of play of Vanilla Brella, which is pretty damn good if I say so myself. All Rapid Blasters, including Pro, got a decreased radius of damage dealt by exploding shots by 6%. It should have been nerfed more. Rapids are still a little bit too good for their own good, so... I would have rather it gotten a bit of a bigger nerf. Ballpoint Splatting. Decreased charging speed when in midair or out of ink by roughly 33%. That's pretty good. You could charge way too fast when you are out of ink before, which was again making Ballpoint kind of an objectively better Hydra, but now it's been fixed a little bit. Dually Squelchers. Decreased ink consumption when shooting by 20%. That's pretty good. That actually will help you do some cooler strafing things, because the Dually Squelchers have the best dodge roll in the game, in my opinion. So that's going to help me like skirt around people and still be able to get shots off, which is pretty nice. I like that. I'm going to be picking up Dually Squelchers a little bit more because of a nerf to Tenta missiles. So that's pretty good. Actually, their sub-weapon got buffed too. I didn't notice Point Sensor was buffed until right now. Increased initial speed by 21% and increased throwing distance. So it gets out faster and it goes further. That's actually really nice. You can see people where people are from an even better distance than before. I like this. Here's the big boy. Autobomb. Decreased ink consumption when using a standard ink tank from 70 to 55% of ink tank capacity. That means that on everything that isn't a junior, you don't really need to put that much sub-saver in order to throw 2. And on something that is a junior, you can throw 2. And then special. And then throw 2 more. A lot of weapons can just do 4 autobombs kind of at once. It's ridiculous. It was nerfed as in decreased, it was nerfed as well. Decreased maximum target tracking time by 1.5 seconds and explosion radius by 7%. But the fact that you can just get them out so much more is insane and so much better than it was before. This is going to be an autobomb meta. Like, autobomb weapons automatically got so much better just with that one change. And Tenta missile weapons also got so much better with just one patch. This one had a lot of changes. It's kind of cool. When locked onto a single target, 10 missiles will be launched at once and strike the area around the target. So that means if you only shoot it at one target, they'll get 10 missiles. When locked onto 2 targets, 5 missiles will now be launched per target, and the time span between each launch has been decreased. Now, I'm just guessing on this because I've seen various translations of the Japanese notes. I'm pretty sure that means that when you're locking onto multiple targets, not just 2, multiple targets. I've tested it myself, and it has looked like 5 missiles have hit everything, even when hitting more than 4 targets in the testing range. So, all around, just big buff. Big boy buff. And not even done. When special power-up is equipped, in addition to all of its previous benefits, the radius of turf inked by the missiles when they land has also been increased, so you can technically paint with these now. Decrease the damage dealt by each missile to the Rainmaker barrier by 50%. That's okay, because you can actually target the Rainmaker shield now. It's not mentioned in the English patch notes, but you can target the Rainmaker shield. That now means that Object Shredder Tentamissiles only targeting the Rainmaker shield is a viable strategy. Because, yeah, the damage has been halved, but now you have 10 missiles going directly at it instead of 4 missiles hitting kind of near it. And then with Object Shredder, big pops are happening. Also, adjusted the position of the lock-on indicator when targeting people to make it easier to see how many missiles will be launched. I guess that just means there's a little indication. I haven't been paying attention to it too much. Either it's more obvious when something's locked on or not, or it's just it specifically can tell whether or not you're targeting on someone or not, so you can tell whether they're getting 10 or 5 missiles. Splashdown. Increased radius of turf inked when landing and decreased gaps of uninked turf. Splashdown did not need a buff. Now, if you put 3 mains of special power up, you can pretty much instantly cap most small zones in the game, as in almost every zone on maps where there are 2 zones, and the Wahoo World zone. This is stupid. Splashdown is now the zone's meta. I don't like this. Inkjet. Increased visibility of the mark indicating where the Inkjet user will return to after its effect ends. That basically means there's a little kill me marker on the ground, and the marker also has a little gauge that lets you tell when they'll land, so you can camp them a little easier. So, Inkjet's getting nerfed even more. Hopefully it doesn't go completely into the ground, but that does remain to be seen. Next up, we've got special turf points. 96 Gal got a 10-point buff from 190 to 180. Custom Blaster got a 10-point nerf from 180 to 190, again affecting the Inkjet. Clash Blaster got a nerf 170 to 180, as did the Neo. Rapid Blaster Deco 180 to 190, at least the Blast Rapids are getting a little more nerfed in addition to their kind of piddly damage reduction. Slosher Hero Slosher, 10-point nerf 180 to 190. Mini Splatling, 10-point nerf 180 to 190. Ballpoint, another nerf 190 to 200. Splat Dualies Hero Dualies, 10-point nerf 180 to 190. That's understandable, missiles got so much better, I'm completely okay with them nerfing the turf to get it. And Parry Splat Dualies, 190 to 200, again an Inkjet nerf. Dually Squelchers, 180 to 190, again for missiles, that's fine. Custom Dually Squelchers, 190 to 200. Dark Tetras, 170 to 190, which means they're the only splashdown weapon to, you know, actually get nerfed particularly hard. So, yeah, that means Splatter Shot and Vanilla Blaster can still do really big splashdown really easily, and I don't like it. There are plenty of bug fixes, a bunch of clipping things. Explosion splash damage was busted a little bit when hitting a wall or Rainmaker barrier. Ink mine explosions were broken before. Walls on slopes were broken. I'm just going to start skimming through the bug fixes from now on, because they're really not that interesting to most people who are watching this. And not really to me either, in all honesty. A weird splashdown bug that could make people appear to be out of bounds when they really weren't. There was a weird Inkjet bug when firing behind a stage, or when firing with a stage object behind you if the object's at a certain angle. So there's a thing making Inkjet shots explode when they shouldn't have, which actually that is technically an Inkjet buff, but it's not enough to deal with the nerfs. There was a weird issue with Baller letting you jump further. That's been removed. Bubble Blower. Actually, this is kind of an interesting Bubble Blower thing. Once the bubbles reached a certain size, bombs would not deal maximum damage because of a bug, and they fixed that. So Bubble Blower, that, depending on how noticeable that was, that might have actually been a substantial Bubble Blower nerf, which I'm not complaining about. Rainmaker's aiming reticle was fixed. There's a weird bug with that. Fixed an issue in Clan Blitz, causing the match to very rarely end suddenly when In overtime, the losing team successfully threw a power climb at the opponent's goal. So I guess even if that power climb wouldn't give them the lead, it would sometimes just end, which is really interesting. Rank battle got a couple changes. After 8 players assemble in the lobby, they're split into teams by taking weapon characteristics into account. So it's basically slightly better matchmaking, so you don't end up with 3 of the same weapon on the same team. It's kind of better, but A, we need anti-cheat. B, we need to cull the bad people from the X ranks. And C, we just need better X rank point-based matchmaking, so 2,500 top 500 people aren't getting 2,200 who can barely stay in X rank. There's a bug with Clamblit's rank being incorrectly displayed as S+9 on the screen when it's supposed to be in between 0 and 8. That actually happened to me. I was really concerned about that, but that makes sense now. Fix an issue causing an incorrect calculation period to display on the screen, displaying rank X positions for the previous month. Okay, not a big deal. Salmon Run actually got a few changes. On Marooner's Bay, the number of gushers has been decreased by 1, and Goldie movement pattern has been changed for Goldie waves. Mothership adjustments. Chinooks, the big boys, will now appear more frequently. Decreased time in which coolers break by themselves, so that actually makes it a little more difficult. Decrease the maximum number of mini salmonids that can appear in the stage at the same time, so that means that there are less guys, but they come out faster. For fog events, the amount of eggs that appear from a Goldie are now 1, 5, or 10 selected at random. So Goldie waves, if you get really good RNG, can now be the easiest way to get really high scoring games if you get a lot of them. 2 new weapon types are now available when playing Salmon Run at the Shoal. It doesn't specify what those are. And then a bunch of bug fixes, mostly related to bosses or special events, with the exception of one Chinook one and one Mariner's Bay one. Octo expansion bug fix. Fixed an issue when occurring when breaking stacked crates with a baller, causing the player to enter into the crate drop down from above. Fixed an issue in Whack Foo Station, preventing game progress if certain actions were performed in the right order. Fixed an issue in Drop the Base Station, causing players to mistakenly clip into the stage geometry. Fixed an issue preventing game progress if a player failed to clear a challenge at the same time they recovered their armor or picked up new armor. I didn't know that was a thing. Fixed an issue occurring in a stage near the end of an expansion, causing a specific cutscene to not play correctly when replaying the stage after clearing it. Fixed an issue inside a cutscene near the end of the expansion, causing a character's outfit to glow more than originally intended. I don't even know that. Okay, that's a thing that happened. But it's just bug fixes, so there's no balance changes, which means that my existing Octo expansion playthrough is still completely up to date. Keep watching that, please. We're not even nearly halfway done. Other changes. When pressing B to return to Inkopolis Square from Grizzco, you'll now appear near the Grizzco entrance. Nice. Fix an issue during Splatfests, causing players you had battled with recently to not appear in Inkopolis Square. And fix an issue causing the hair of Octoling boys to stick out in unintended ways when the samurai helmet was equipped, depending on the hairstyle. Just an aesthetic change. So overall, I'm not completely satisfied with this patch, but at the same time, I recognize how significant and how very much meta-changing this is going to be. I got 2 tournaments this weekend. I want to see how screwy those are and how many random upsets happen because no one knows what they're doing anymore. So, until then, this is Luxon, very, very excitedly, signing off.